Go.
Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Couples Therapy, Season 4, Episode 6.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. Blair, you ready?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this, please.
Joey and Rex.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about sexuality and their intimacy history.
Yeah.
Rex said that due to the lack of a father figure in his life, he would bring girls over to his house.
Mm-hmm.
His mom would yell at him saying that this is a house, not a hotel.
Mm.
And when he went to college, it was worse. He
Wow.
had a really high sex drive. He had a different girl every day of the week. And he really wonders how he stopped being himself. And I thought that was really interesting because not only did he stop hoeing, being married, he also stopped having sex because his wife no longer wanted to have sex. But in other ways, he also stopped being himself too, with his personal beliefs about religion. And I mean, it just extends like far and deep.
Yeah.
So they had an intimate first 2 years in their relationship, but then the intimacy, the sex drive, everything died. And Orna asked, well, what killed it? Her belief in abstinence. Joey said that it started off as casual and fun. She called it being in her rebellious stage, and she was also going through a breakup. So Rex was kind of like her bad boy that she was doing bad boy things with. After doing that, it would turn into shame and torment. And it was about doing and wanting to do things in her flesh. But it not only extended to just the sex and intimacy in a relationship, but also to masturbation. Just all of that was off limits. She says we're married and should be enjoying sex now, but she has no desire for it unless she really focuses on it and on Rex. But when they would try it, it would hurt, and then he wouldn't finish, she wouldn't finish, and then he would just end up frustrated. Lorena says, well, sexuality can extend beyond intercourse.
Yeah.
And she suggested them that they try to restore physical intimacy between the two of them with intercourse off the table. Joey is all for it, but she's worried that he's going to try to push for more and then he'll get disappointed. Rex just doesn't know what it'll look like, but they do agree to try this homework exercise.
Yeah. Anna was like, well, just tell him, like, no, don't do that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? What is your thoughts on this couple right here? Because I am not feeling so good about Joey.
Yeah, with this couple, they just have to get back on the same page. I feel like with Joey, like, it seems like everything is a hurdle. And I'm not sure why she's putting up all these walls and barriers against her husband. And it feels like it is against her husband.
100%.
Like she's not trying to work through the issue. It's like he is the opposition. And she doesn't want him to come any closer. So it's just frustrating to hear that she has kind of made him an enemy of sorts. And I don't know if enemy is the right word, but it's just hard to see. So.
Yeah, I'm confused because, Joey, I thought you chose me. Hello?
Yeah.
If you was going to do all of this, you should just listen to your mama then.
Yeah.
And not be with me. But you chose to be with me. And yet every day I experience you not choosing me.
Yeah.
So it's like how do I feel like you chose me in the moment, but every day I'm reminded, like, yeah, don't touch me. Yeah, we're not having intercourse. But yet every day I'm supposed to just live off the fact of, like, I'm doing this for you. And I'm just like, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything for me. You ain't doing anything to me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's very weird. They have a weird dynamic so far.
So we move on to Alexis and Casimar. She has extended their sessions because they've had a lot that they needed to work on. And Orna says that she can see the progress. So we'll see if we can. You tell us if you can. So Alexis says that their sex life isn't what it was when they started.
Yeah.
Casimar said that they was effing like rabbits when they moved in together. There was a major shift and the sex stopped. Casimar felt that he was the only one who had an issue with the fact that they weren't having sex.
Yeah.
He was feeling like, is something wrong with me? Like, why am I not getting any? Casimar was in a dark space. He came across a mutual friend of theirs, and he ended up cheating on Alexis. But that's not really how he phrased it. He said, the guy wanted to console me and he thought he should console me sexually. And it wasn't until Alexis spoke where he was like, he cheated on me.
Yeah.
So that was like interesting how people phrase these things.
So he basically also said, like, I didn't stop it. I let it go too far. I ain't stop him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's weird. Let's start there. If I was a therapist, so you cheated on Alexis. Interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
And she asked, so how? Casimar asked, how does he demand sex from somebody who's been raped? And the thing is that Casimar couldn't stop cheating once he started.
Wow.
Alexis found out. There were stretches where they wouldn't touch each other outside of cuddling. And Casimar was just thinking to himself, well, if I can't get it from here, I'm going to supplement it from somewhere else. And it made sense to him. Recently, they had sex and it triggered Alexis in the situation, like in his history with SA. And Alexis says that that's true. You know, he says really the infidelity is almost a non-issue. He says it was an issue. We definitely argued about it and all that type of stuff. But the bigger issue is that he wants Casimar to be fulfilled, and it's really neither one of their faults. It just sucks that this is their dynamic at this point.
Yeah.
Orna says that pretty much we don't really get a resolve to this, but they're going to put it on their agenda as far as something that they need to work on.
I find it interesting that Casimar did let it be known that the one thing that he was scared of doing in this relationship was having sex with his partner and triggering him. Yeah. Knowing what his partner been through.
And reminding him of what his uncle did to him and be like, I don't want him to look at me the same way.
He don't want to look as his uncle. They listen, what progress you see, Anna? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's almost as if they are each other's kryptonite. If y'all know anything about superheroes, like they are each other's weakness. The thing that triggers Alexis, Casimar is all of that. You get what I'm saying? Things that triggers Casimar, Alexis is all of that. You know. So I just find it very interesting, dude. Like you think, and I'll give my answer first once I ask you the question. Do you think the cheating have anything to do with how Alexis treat Casimar? I think it does, right? Not so much of the cheating, the act itself, but the trust part. Whenever it comes to trust, I think trust is tricky and trust can be layered. You could think that you're over it, but there will always be some type of back of the mind thought of like this could happen again. What do you think, Blair?
I think it's like one ingredient in the pot of stew. Okay. I think that's the underlying issue of why Alexis is angry, but Alexis is angry for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't think that that's the one thing that's causing everything else to be out of place. Even, we get further into discussion about Casimar's family dynamic. I think Alexis might be a little bit jealous or angry that Casimar has a close relationship with his family and Alexis has chosen to cut his family off. So I think it's just a lot. And even his past, he's not over his past. Not to say that it's something easy or he should just get over, but he's not quite coped or come to some type of understanding about his past to where he can live in the now and look towards a better future. Yeah. So, yes, I think it's part of it, but there's a lot. There's like a whole lot going on there.
And I'm not trying to make it seem like his past is something that he should just get over. Right. Like his past is very dark. But to your point, that's just one ingredient of a lot of things. Even down the line, I don't know if it's this episode, it may be the next episode. Whenever Casimar tells him something, it's like he just has a pessimistic view on it. Like there's no, even when it can be neutral, even when it don't mean good or bad, it just is what it is. He has to work harder to not think negatively about what Casimar tells him. Yeah. So yeah.
And Orna makes a statement that the person holding on to the flame of sex is the one who's holding on to the couple/relationship. Is what she's observing. Okay. So we get to Mitch and Elíana.
This was the scene of the night for me right here. I was so disappointed.
Elíana says that she is very much to the point when it comes to sex. Like, let's get it poppin', let's do it. Yeah. So she was also SA'd at 14 by somebody that she went to church with, and he was a 27-year-old man. The church found out. She was kicked out of the church, and she never said anything about it. But the church found out some type of way. Her ex-husband and her had several miscarriages. And at that point, sex just became a chore to have a baby. Yeah. He would also cheat with other women. And for Elíana and Mitch, you know, it wasn't like that with her and them at first. Like, it was a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Mitch said that he became aware of her sexual history and her feelings around sex about 2 years into their relationship.
Facts.
Elíana said that a lot of what she does is self-preservation. Her ex-husband said that she was asking for the SA situation when she disclosed that to him.
Yeah.
So her defense mechanisms are just like very much like on go.
Yeah.
Mitch says that she kept asking questions about intimacy and if he desired it from her. He said no, because the expectations have changed about like how sex occurs. So usually he's initiated it. When she does it, it comes off aggressive and manly, and he's not attracted to that. He would like her to be softer about it.
That's true.
Elíana says that she has also been in abusive relationships, so she's not going to give him any ammunition to say that she's soft or weak. Well, when he said he was going to also move out by Friday, not presently, but in the past, when he said, like, I'm moving out, she was like, you can do it today.
Yeah. And I want to touch on that, right? Because that's two different subjects, right? Because Arna basically was asking, like, what do you mean? Like you don't want to come off as soft, right? Like, basically. And it's part of her defense mechanism. To where it's like, you're not going to threaten me. You're not going to hold nothing over my head. You ain't going to make me feel no type of way. If you say you're going to move out Friday, I help you pack today and you can get on out of here. Yeah. Right? That's how I am. Right? Don't threaten me with a good time. I want to have a good time now. Okay. You know what I mean? Let's dance. Okay. But when it comes to, it's so crazy how the mind like kind of like changes itself and it forms to whatever trauma you've been through. And when it comes to her being SA, that is a trauma in itself that is sad and that is ruthless, that is just downright wrong. You get what I'm saying? Especially with somebody from the church, someone who was 13 years older than her. You get what I'm saying? But there's trauma, even though it's normalized because more people talk about it. There's trauma in miscarriages. There's trauma in expecting something and it being taken away from you. So she said she had like 6 to 7 miscarriages between it basically like a high number. Like 5 miscarriages, right? So 5 times minimal she experienced something being taken away from her, including her essay, right? So whenever it comes to like her defense mechanism of basically like, I'm gonna leave you on Friday, or basically I'm leaving Friday, she's like, no, I'm gonna be in control. That's her way of basically saying you ain't, get out now. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And there was a point, I don't know if it's this episode, but throughout the episode, Arna kind of told her not to cuss, right? Not because she's like, you know, against cussing, but cussing is a way that she's using to not express herself, not to use other words, right? So it's just like, it forces her to actually put words to how she feels. And I think a lot of the times that like she's like not being soft, it's just a response and a result of what she's been through, you know?
Yeah. When it comes to this, just kind of strictly speaking about their like sexual, like intimacy situation, I think it's a touchy and a difficult situation because she wants to do it. She wants to be intimate with her partner and she's trying in the best way she can. Yeah. But it's unattractive to him the way that she's doing it. And she really has to learn how to kind of let down those walls in order for that to be like a natural, good experience for both of them, enjoyable experience for both of them. Yeah. So do I think that Mitch needs to have like patience with her? Yes. But she's got to like release a little bit of that. Like that's going to be hard for somebody to want to be with and be around. And, you know, in different parts of the episodes, like Orna has expressed like you are pushing him away. Like what you're doing and what you're saying is pushing him away. So I think she's going to have to reconcile with, even with when she wants him, she is being hard and aggressive, and even that is off-putting. So she needs to find a different way. And
that's interesting you said that, because even throughout this conversation, I do not get the feel that she does not want him. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like I think she make it known. She never expressed that she don't like having sex. She haven't expressed that she don't like having sex with him. It's just hard to get through all the fluff when you ain't cleaning, when you ain't doing your part. And then on top of that, I'm yelling at you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And he's like, I don't want to be around that. So, like, that is a good point, Blair.
Yeah. Thank you. So Orna says, wow, like, just there's so much pride between the both of you. Mitch says that they struggle with being vulnerable with each other. In the past, she basically like used his vulnerability against him. The exact thing that she's scared of somebody doing to her, she does it, and she does it first.
She did it to him.
He's dealt with a lot of loss and grief in his life. Someone close to him passed in 2020, which was a woman, a woman friend, and it was around the first time that he cried, like in front of her for the first time. Elíana comes out and asks him, "Were y'all more than friends?" She's like, "You're posting online about this girl, like." Am I supposed to be feeling like I'm like you're making me look stupid or something? And he's like, no, like that was just my friend. And she said, so okay, because I just wanted to make sure I wasn't competing with some dead chick.
That was a wild statement.
That took me back, and I'm just like, and you still talk to her?
I ain't gonna hold you. I would have left. I ain't gonna hold you.
I was like, you still talk to this woman? She is so mean.
Even if I wasn't that close with that friend, I would have been like, whoa.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want that bad juju in my house or near me, man.
Yeah, and that bothered him, rightfully so.
Of course.
And it felt insensitive, and he took a step back from being vulnerable with her after that comment was made.
Yeah, and just to point out right here, I said sorry. I apologize. But here's the thing about sorry. I can't unhear what you said.
Yeah.
Like, I can choose to hold it against you or not. But at the end of the day, that thing is in the echo chamber. You get what I'm saying? Because it lets me know, like, what you're capable of. The depths of I don't want to say evil. She ain't no villain. But the depths of, like, just meanness you can be. And it's like, if you could do this to so-and-so, man, I'm over here crying over this girl that died and things like that. We probably was around the same age. She's young, you know, and you over here like, oh, well, I just want to make sure I ain't compete with no dead girl. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, respect the dead. You get what I'm saying?
Elíana says that she could have phrased it better.
You could have just not say anything.
I know. I was just thinking, like, I don't think you should be comparing yourself to anybody who passed away. Like, I think that was probably a comment you could have left unsaid.
Yeah.
Orna said that, you know, your self-protective wrapping can be hurtful. And it doesn't seem that you're aware of what your shield for yourself is doing to your partner. Yeah. Elíana says that she'll protect herself at any cost. She didn't necessarily realize it was costing him. And I call BS.
You think so?
I call BS on that.
How so?
You knew you were hurting him. You knew it. That's why you were saying and doing the things you were. Like, she said she'll protect herself at any cost. To me, that means at the cost of anybody else's feelings. And to me, I'm just like, and you know that's what you're doing. I didn't believe her when she said, I didn't realize, like, it was costing him. Like, no, you knew.
But Arna,
you knew that.
Even Arna had to point out, say, any cost, right? I think the reason why I'm gonna go give her a little bill. Can I give her a little bill?
Go ahead.
Right. The only reason why I feel like that she feels justified is because she feels like Mitch deserves it, right? In the sense of, I'm only this way because you make me be this way. In past episodes, she's like, I don't want to make all the decisions. I don't want to be this authoritative person. But if I don't do it, things won't get done. So in her eyes, she views it as, I'm not just outright just saying these things or being this way. You are making me this way, right?
No, that girlfriend thing.
The
I'm
dead
like,
girl thing was kind of wild. I ain't gonna hold you.
To me, yes, like she can get on him about stuff and maybe be a little too much, but she also just be saying random mean stuff as well.
I understand that, and that may be the New York in her,
yeah.
Right? But I'm just saying, I think for that. I ain't gonna hold you. That showed me another side of her that I was like, that was wild, right?
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of cases, she justifies how she is and who she is and the way she talks to Mitch. She justifies it by saying, well, look what Mitch does. You get what I'm saying? And the thing about it that is so interesting, and I heard people say this before last couple seasons. Some people say they don't really like Arna because she comes off as if she's always defending the guy, right? And you can kind of see in this situation that even though Mitch lied, even though Mitch is basically a man child, even though Mitch kind of just don't pull his own weight in general, right? He is the one that's given some type of authority of how the house is going to run. You know, we just kind of skip over the fact that, like, you know, that Mitch does all these things and he lies and things like that. And we kind of just harp on like, oh, you go defend yourself at any cost. I think Arna is smart in this situation is because she is the one that basically get things done, because she's the one that's basically the one hurting things. I think if she could get to her, it would do more a positive in their relationship than talking to him, right? Meaning, because I remember she was talking to her counselor advisor group, and she was like, I think she feels like I'm not with her, or like I'm against her, like she don't trust me, right? And I think a lot of times, if I don't get to the depths of who this girl is, right, she's just going to take all of this and just sees it as, I'm just defending Mitch, I'm just defending Mitch, I'm just defending Mitch. But I have to let her know that, okay, in this situation, in other situations, you may have been right. But for the future situations and things like that, how can I change your behavior? So when she said at any cost, okay, let's say all the other times you was right. Let's leave that to the side. But if you keep practicing these habits, right, you don't have to defend yourself in these type of situations, or your defense mechanisms to Blair's point is hurting him. So you need to practice new habits of how to handle these things when you're done wrong in that situation. So I do like her approach of basically talking to her of like at any cost, like because it is costing him, even though he's learning to pull his own weight, even though he don't know how to clean the bathroom, even though he always say he's tired. You know, I think it would benefit the relationship for both of them, actually. Yeah,
I think just to speak to, I guess, some people's thoughts about Orna always being on the men's side, I think that Orna knows that directness doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, and it ain't gonna work for that girl.
And I think that not even her, but I'm saying for Mitch, if Orna was to say you need to pull your weight, that wouldn't register with him. That would just sound like whatever Elíana says every day. So in order to reach him, she wanted to give him responsibility and ownership over his part in the relationship and in the household. And I think that was more impactful to him in their relationship than her saying, pull it together. So I think that she tries to speak to people in a way that they can actually make a shift, you know? And I don't think that everyone responds with get it together, you know? And especially men, because a lot of times men don't like to listen, and especially they don't like to listen to women. So I think that that's part of her strategy, and I could just be totally speculating, but I think that's part of her strategy of trying to get the men to change is to have them in a way like, not make them think it's like their own idea, but for them to see the inherent value in making the change, so they actually do it.
That's fair.
So that's how I kind of see it.
I like that.
Yeah. So Josh, Lorena, and Aryn. Aryn at first never brought up the things that she was annoyed with. She would just be easygoing, but in a way that was her coping mechanism. She didn't think that Josh could handle her speaking about anything negative. And Lorena asked, you know, what adaptable means to her in this case. Aryn will be more go with the flow, but she doesn't necessarily want to. She does mental gymnastics internally in order for her to go with the flow, but ultimately she still wants to do what she wants to do. And Orna is talking to her colleague and is saying that, you know, jealousy isn't being considered as like a primary feeling between this poly couple. And her colleague is trying to tell her, like, could it be jealousy? Could that be at play here? Is that why some of the dynamics are how they are? Well, we get a meeting with just Aryn and Josh. So apparently they all three were at a work event. They didn't introduce each other with any labels. Aryn said, you know, we're unclear about how to introduce each other. If Lorena's there, she won't be as touchy or take as much time with him. And part of that, in that she's supporting their relationship, but she's not realizing how much of a toll it takes on her. Like Aryn, by the end of the day, felt like she was missing Josh, even though they had spent an entire great day together. Josh asked at one point what was Aryn's idea of what Lorena's role would be in the relationship. And basically, you need to let me know if anything is rubbing up against your boundaries. Aryn already felt that she wasn't standing up for herself. So when he talked about boundaries, she was just like, it's kind of like everything is going against my boundaries. So his brow furrowed, like he just looked like something bothered him. And now she's worried that she might have disappointed Josh. And Orna is saying that, you know, Aryn suppressed her needs. And it's not okay to say no in their poly relationship is what it seems like. If anything negative is brought up, it's some type of threat. Josh says that they're doing a good job of living the poly experience in his opinion, and he's wondering what she thought would happen as far as what did poly look like to you.
That's a fair question.
Aryn says that Lorena and Josh's relationship is more significant than she actually signed up for. She supports it, but she's having a harder time with it than she thought she would.
I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Y'all are a fake poly relationship. Aryn, I think you are jealous. I think it's only fun if you go out and have sex whenever you want to. And Blair did bring up a point while we was watching the show. She probably felt like, hey, as long as I can have sex, it's all good, but I'm not in a relationship with these people I'm having sex with. Compared to Josh, he's having sex with another girl, and he's like in another relationship with her. I just think Aryn is jealous, and the fact that Josh is falling in love and have, it seems like a real relationship with another girl, she feels some type of way, but she's still trying to keep up this facade as if she's poly. They are not poly. Yeah. Right? All three of them are confused. And they are just basically just getting along they are going along to get along, basically. And the more I listen to them talk, the more I realize that all three of them shouldn't even be in this situation.
Right.
And if you had to choose, Blair, don't lose your thought, which one do you think should be the couple?
Honestly,
I say separate both of them.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. Yeah. But honestly, I think Aryn and Josh, if they could be monogamous.
Now, watch this. I think if Aryn and... The reason why... I'm going to tell you why I said separate both of them. The reason why I was leaning towards Aryn and Josh, too. But I think Aryn's just going to hurt Josh.
Yeah. But I'm saying if they can be monogamous. If Aryn can't be monogamous, she needs to be single.
Yeah.
Is how I feel about it. And yeah, and that was the point I made when we were watching the show. Dang, what was the point I made? While we were watching the show?
Well, let me refresh your memory. Yeah. Aryn is jealous, right?
Yeah.
And, okay, dude, you got it back?
I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think was the difference, too. Because if we go back to when Aryn posed the idea of a poly relationship, she was telling Josh, I want to sleep with old dude. She wasn't saying, I want to be in a relationship and get him into the threads of our life.
Anchor and primary, all that other
exactly. And so I think, Aryn thought of herself as the anchor relationship, like, okay, this is what it is. Lorena, she's, his little situation and, they hang out, they have fun when I'm not in town. But now she's in town and they still need to have dates and kind of like get their own schedule going as far as when they see each other and nurture their relationship. And Aryn is just like, I'm back in town. Like, what do y'all think y'all doing? I'm here, Yeah. Also, I feel like Aryn is a little bit selfish.
Yeah, she is.
Aryn's a little bit selfish is what I'm seeing. And I think it's coming out more because this is a poly relationship. I feel like, and there's more that I can talk about Aryn's selfishness, but like she don't even be listening to Lorena when she talks.
Whole time though, she don't.
She don't. But you'll see in the next episode why I say that. But I'm very much in the mindset that this poly relationship isn't going to work. No. I don't know if any of them really work.
They don't on this show.
But I just think that Aryn's not being honest about her feelings. She wants to be able to do what she wants, but she doesn't want Josh to be able to do what he wants. And also, if you think about it, Aryn might have other situations or other partners and all these types of things. They're not in therapy with us.
No.
Lorena's in therapy with us. This is more than I figured. Why is she in therapy with us? So, yeah, there's Aryn's not being honest.
She's not being honest because she don't want to come off as if she jealous or she feels
selfish because I want to be poly. I don't want Josh to be poly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it comes off of. But that's why we play therapists on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I just can't say that as a therapist. Like, you're selfish.
Okay.
It defeats the purpose. Anything else?
That's it.
We see y'all next time.
Bye.